Okay, I thought we'd talk a little bit about the intake procedure for survivors who are coming to us seeking services. And so basically, I see this broken down into two different intake points or presentation points. This is the way we'll start doing it. It may not work, as I've said over and over. We may have to step back and look at it and change the way we're doing it. But for right now, starting off at least the next few weeks, this is the way we're going to try to do this. So you will find this document, all of the procedures and all of the documentation stuff will be downstairs in health services in the same cabinet. I have a notebook that will have all of these forms in there should you just need something for quick reference, but I want us to go over them as well. So I see survivors presenting for services in two ways. One, if they come into health services during regular business hours, or if they're seeking services after business hours. So if they come into health services, Leanne and Kim and I all discussed this. And for right now, we're going to have the health services staff to contact me. In the same respect, should we get a call into the Aspire's office and we need to access health services, then I will call down to Leanne or Kim and let them know we've got someone and discuss time frame and when we can get them down there. And if anyone in health services should want to, if they're available, do the exam. But so they present to health services. Health services will contact me and I will contact the on-call saying during the business hours, the majority of the time I will be on call. Sheila will be helping out, and so will Carrie. So we're going to carry the majority of the call during the day during business hours. So I'll contact whoever's on call for the same service, and I will also contact the advocate. We will come together and go down to the clinic and meet with the survivor. Now we know that there may be a time or two that either I have to be delayed a little bit because I'm in class or a meeting or Sheila or Carrie. And so we've discussed that with Aaron, and the advocate can go ahead and start the intake process by signing some forms, which we'll go over a little bit. But we will get to the survivor. We don't want them sitting down there for a prolonged period. So we will make contact with them fairly quickly. Um, should health services staff want to do the exam, then certainly I will help get the on-call advocate facility notified and on their way in um, to do that exam or to make that contact. If the person comes in to health services and they're saying they just want to be tested for STIs, health services is going to explain to them that we do have SANE services. Should their assault be within that time frame, that we can provide those services and let them know what a SANE exam is. And if they continue to decline the exam, which is fine, then we're still going to work to get an advocate down there to meet with them just to get them connected to any available resources. Of course, they may deny or decline choosing to meet with an advocate, but we want to make sure that everyone who comes in who conveys or reports in some way, perhaps they may not call it an assault, they may call it, that they've had sex and they're not really sure what happened, or they've had sex and they can't remember a lot of it, whatever. We want to make sure that they know they can contact an advocate and just be aware of resources that are available for them. So that's basically how that's going to work coming into health services. After hours, we're advertising that people can get in touch with Aspire's personnel by using the Eagle Eye After Hours hotline. And when someone calls that hotline number, the answering service will then connect the survivor, the caller, with the SANE who is on call for that shift. The on-call SANE will perform what we're calling a telephone triage, which we kind of went over this in the role play, and I have that form for you as well to kind of use it as a guideline. The answering service will make sure they're not in need of immediate medical attention and that they're in a safe environment as well. But we are also going to ask those questions. And then we're going to ask them about the assault to make sure that they do qualify. And when I mean they do qualify, has their assault been within 7 days? That's the basic qualifier. It doesn't matter if they've showered. If they still want an exam and it's been within 7 days, we're still going to do the exam, okay? So if the survivor qualifies for a SANE exam and they desire to have one done, then the SANE and the survivor will agree upon a time to meet at health services. Now, on that on-call sheet, I'm going to try to put everyone's response time down so that if I'm the SANE on call, I'm looking at my on-call sheet and I can tell, hey, my advocate's 40 minutes out. That gives me an idea of saying to the survivor, is 45 minutes okay with you? And if they, say it's not, they want to meet sooner, a SANE can always meet that person and start talking to them and just, getting them ready mentally for the exam that's coming. We certainly don't want a survivor to say, oh, I can't believe you can't come in. I can't meet you before 45 minutes. We don't want that to be the reason they decide not to pursue services. So just kind of feel that out. Keep that in mind. Ideally, we would like the SANE and the advocate to meet with the survivor at the same time, but we know sometimes that might not be possible right at the first few minutes of the encounter. So we'll just do our best to try to get there at the same time, if at all possible. And then once that time frame is agreed upon, the SANE can contact the advocate and say, hey, we've got someone coming in. I see your normal response time is 45 minutes. The survivor has agreed to meet me 45 minutes from now. And then y'all agree to come together. We are still going to, at this point, come through the courtyard of Bell Hall, enter the building from the back, go down that back hallway to the elevator and into the clinic. They still don't have our e-card pass on that back door, so until they get it, you'll need to call me if I'm not the SANE on call, and I'll come and let you in the building. If Aaron's not the advocate on call, or it's not Sheila or Carrie or I who have keys to the building. But we will get you in the building. And of course, I know Kim and Robert have keys to health services, so we're just going to kind of have to, knock this around and work this out as we go through it. Please note down here at the bottom of this form, we're saying if the survivor should choose to report their assault to law enforcement, just to try to make it easy right now and not have a lot of variables. If you'll just contact me, then I will tell you who to contact, or I'll contact the law enforcement agency myself and ask them to go to health services to meet with you. I know in conversations with the district attorney, he said it depended a lot on which county, if it's a county occurrence, which county it occurs in, whether he wants their investigators or his. So to keep from having a big list of, if it's this county, call this person, or this county, just call me. And that way we'll make it as easy as possible until we can see how all of this is going to fall out. I do want to emphasize that all survivors, regardless of their decision to report to law enforcement or not, will be assigned a case number. And I'm going to show you the case number form here very shortly. But just know that every single person who comes in to access services, be it SANEs or advocates or both, they need to get a case number.